But there's a lot of multi-ethnic layers, and actually very interesting in many ways. Some sad stories, but some also very interesting, sort of the multi-ethnic situation and the multicultural presence of many cultural influences. And this also makes it quite, it's very interesting in many ways, because what we can be inspired by, it's not actually looking towards the European continent, but towards a lot of other storytelling elements that are important in this kind of project. And I do believe if you think of architecture as like hollow shells, architecture in itself, without the people, they're like just hollow shells. But if we think of the importance of architecture, and actually just looking around what's happening, you know, Port-au-Prince in Haiti, you see badly made architecture really is really disastrous. Or we can see like what's going on the other side, where architecture is some sort of becomes a symbol of power, or in negative or positive way. But we can see that architecture, it's very important for the way we're living. And I think this Kirkenes, of course, they have some traces of big scale, and also a quite interesting history, very much referred to the last World War, where they have actually everything was burnt down. So here it's also a territory which is also marked by history. What the clients actually asked for was some sort of construction that could unite a lot of interest and a lot of activities in one very significant building. So just looking around, you see traces of significance of great unities, both in nature and architecture, in many places. We still didn't have any kind of answer, actually. And looking into the art scene here in Kirkenes, there's every year this very interesting festival. There was a art project dealing with billboards of different kind, like the smallest hotel in the world, and so we just sort of found out that building a building, it must have some sort of significance. Using the construction must be special, use of material must be special. So some sort of, we discussed with the client that we wanted a high building made out of wood, and we also wanted a building which is really designed according to very high environmental requirements. So, and we also there's since the culture center some years ago, there was a fire in this place, so there's a need for cultural facilities, and of course there's also ambition of making this international place. We can look upon, for the one who have been walking around a bit in Kirkenes, you actually see it's not the town itself that has really the big scale, it's the industry here. And this is just an image of actually the impact of the big scale which industry has upon Kirkenes, which is, I find really interesting. Well, that's actually the background. And we ourselves have been working quite many years with using like wood as a material without processing it to a very high level, but just use it as a raw material and try to use the benefits that are in the wood as a fabulous organic material, which is very difficult to use because it moves with temperature, with humidity, and then you have to some sort of accept that working with wood as a material, it's quite difficult because it's a living material. It's not like concrete or steel, which actually has more, it's easier to control. But through some years, we have been working with wood as a principal material for our architecture projects in different scales, inside and outside. And it's interesting, this kind of simple quotation, using like have one clear material strategy in architecture, and especially trying to do as little as possible with this material. So that is really a quality. So together with the client, we some sort of decided to make or design a big wood house, a big wooden house, and also to make it a complete construction of wood, which we have not seen before. We wanted to make something we have not seen before. So with the program requirements, it some sort of came out to be the highest wooden house in the world. That's interesting. We knew the other, another wooden house. You see the one image to your left there. That was, according to the people who know the man who made that building, and a Russian man who, with a lot of wood, nails, and I suppose some vodka to it, made this some sort of spontaneous house. And that was the highest wooden building in the world. And I'm not sure, some of you might know, but I think it's not standing anymore.
That's correct.
It's because of the vodka, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's torn down.
It's torn down. Yeah, that's what I suspected. And actually, adding that to the very impressive but also inspiring industrial architecture, which you can see here on the hilltop above Kirkenes, you some sort of have the chemistry, you have the very interesting ingredients to make this building. And it should some also, well, Rune talk about ugliness, but I some sort of find ugliness very fascinating, so I'm not sure if the result we made is very beautiful, but I think it's really interesting. And using this kind of ingredients with the big scale, with the inspiration of actually what has been going on here, and those kind of possibilities, we moved on further.